So this is a pin video apparently on Delta's TikTok. If you don't know, it was a Delta flight that crash landed here in Toronto Pearson. So we'll have a little play for you here, and let's see what this is about. This is what they're promoting.
Did somebody say?
Actually, sorry, I got to kill the audio because of trademark infringement, but we'll put the video up and you'll get the idea. They're, of course, doing, the typical dance. And if you're listening to this instead of watching, what we're seeing on the screen is a bunch of women, attendants, pilots, ground crew, engine mechanics, your typical, stack of jobs, and they're all gals. And, they've become very proud of the idea that, they have a unmanned crew is what they're calling it. And by unmanned, they mean no men. It's an all-female crew. So I was asking the question, what were the pilots' names? Well, we have that now. And I'll throw it up on the screen. I didn't get this information. TikTok account by the name of N Wokeness got it as a tip. It says over here, Endeavour Air tip came that the first officer just got her license 1 month ago. The source believes that she was a control since air traffic controller recording shows a male managing the radio, which is their policy. So I'm guessing the one landing is not on the radio. The other officer is on the radio talking to air traffic control. And here's what we have up on screen. It looks like the pilot's name was James Kendall, and the first officer was Rebecca Hawley, according to this. I did a quick search on LinkedIn and Google for Rebecca Hawley, Endeavour Air, Delta. Nothing came up. So I don't know if she has social or if it's so new that she hasn't updated her profile. But purportedly, 80 people's lives were almost lost at the hands of what appears to be another DEI incident. But I'm sure the actual confirmation would, this seems pretty clear to me, unless there's some new information that comes beyond this. But, same thing happened recently, in the last month or so, where the Apache, it was a Black Hawk helicopter pilot and another DEI hire, I think her name was also Rebecca, if I'm not mistaken, collided with the aircraft that was coming in for a landing carrying passengers. And I think if I'm not mistaken, it was full casualties because it was a mid-air collision and flaming fireballs just hit the ground. Anyway, moving on. Thought I would share that with you guys. I'm glad nobody was hurt, but I do like it was. So Monday here in Canada, it's called Family Day. Down in the States, it's President's Day. But a lot of people have a day off, so there's a lot of just kind of hanging out with family stuff. And we went skiing on Monday when this plane crash happened. I remember driving back from up north. I actually left the hill earlier because the weather was getting worse and worse, really bad. And I remember coming down from just north of Barrie around Oro. If you guys live in Canada, that's kind of like where most of the ski hills are. And I was at Highlands, which is just across from Horseshoe Valley. And the roads were really bad. There was probably about 15 or 16 cars in pileups that were just sort of like off the side of the road, all smashed up and destroyed. And, it took about 2 or 3 times longer to get home, but the weather was bad. So I'm actually surprised that the seasoned pilot would let a woman with a month's experience flying land the plane in less than ideal conditions. I don't know. The actual conditions obviously wasn't at Pearson International Airport. I was driving back from up north, and weather can be very different in that distance, but it wasn't good. And I think most of you by now have seen the video recording taken from the taxiing plane that was getting ready to take off. There was video footage, and he was sort of panning as the plane was coming in. It just came in and smashed into the runway into a big fireball and flipped over. But anyway, so let's get to the topic of today's video, sort of moving on, getting right to the point, talking about step parenting. Again, if you guys are newer to this channel and the podcast, this is just a little something I'm building on the book, The Unplugged Alpha. You can also see it up on the screen over there. If you haven't gotten it, it's in its 2nd edition. You should definitely get a copy. But you don't need to. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm sharing some of the chapters on the article tab of Twitter. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.